In today's news, it's finally happening. The collapse of the old financial system, the rising of a new one, but in the view of the public eye. As mainstream media has just reported, regulators closed Philadelphia-based Republic First Bank, first US bank failure this year. Listen closely.
Based Philadelphia bank, Republic First Bank, was collapsed and was seized by state regulators. Fulton Bank reached an agreement with regulators to take over Republic's first nearly 36 branches in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. They will reopen under the Fulton Bank name. This branch in media already has a temporary sign-up. This is the first regional banking failure this year.
So, the confirmation that the Republic First Bank has been seized is huge news, as for once, there were no bailouts from Wall Street. They had no choice but to let the bank fail. The shocking factor here though is in the wording, first US bank failure this year, indicating at the possibility of more to come. You have been warned time and time again of where we are heading. In this panel from the International Monetary Fund, they told you that the switch is already happening. Pay close attention.
And what you're doing is we're putting together a process framework, a governance framework for banks to tokenize their asset on this network. For example, you can tokenize from money market fund to bonds, to equities, to deposits. Standard Chartered Bank just announced, I think a few months back, they're tokenizing their trade receivables. UBS is tokenizing their money market fund. JPM is tokenizing their deposits. So you can see that switch is happening already.
The switch is already happening. The banks are collapsing and being destroyed from the shadows by Ripple and XRP. The reason I'm showing you this video from the IMF is because a new paper just released this month, April 2024, from the IMF talking about CBDCs and the fact that Ripple Labs is working with countries on issuing CBDCs. The paper specifically describes this as cutting-edge technology that Ripple is building around the world and therefore is destroying the necessity of the banks. The banks evidently now are at the mercy of this new monetary system, at the mercy of CBDCs, at the mercy of Ripple with XRP. And what is most interesting, or rather comedic if you will, about all of this is covered in this panel from Ripple's president Monica Long, because first it started with the collapse of crypto-friendly banks like Silicon Valley Bank, Silvergate and Signature Bank as a means to stop crypto's rise, but it failed, and now evidently times have changed. The switch has definitely been flipped and now regulations closer than ever. Ripple's destruction of the old banking system is inevitable. Pay very close attention.
So the very premise of a blockchain is you now have a new financial rail where there's open access all around the world to something that's instantaneous, where you can transfer and move and exchange different forms of value all over the world really quickly and seamlessly. So we've applied it to payments. So exactly your use case of getting money just across the border between Canada and the US in a cost-effective and transparent way. That's exactly the problem that we seek to solve. I would say our business, our network has had the most uptake places where there has been regulatory clarity for licensed financial institutions who are our customers to use a crypto rail. So that's places like Singapore and Dubai and even Europe. 27 countries came together to form the MiCA regulation, which is a common framework to handle crypto assets, whereas the US, there's a regulatory battlefield between the different agencies to fight for territory.
The IMF are one of the global leaders. They are the ones that are leading the rules and regulations of this world, and Ripple is in their corner, or rather the IMF are in Ripple's corner. But they are not the only ones. As we can see from Edward Farina here, the World Economic Forum, another massive powerhouse, released a new report on CBDCs as well, modernizing financial markets with wholesale CBDCs, and among the contributors are James Wallace, Vice President of Ripple X, Central Bank Engagements and CBDCs, and Paul Wong from Stellar. So Stellar and Ripple and XRP are among talking about CBDCs and the change that's being made in the new monetary system. But that is not all. In this post from XRP drops, Ripple's Lon Beliv joined OMFIF to discuss the technical and regulatory requirements for upgrading the legacy compatibilities of central bank money. They are literally in the middle of all, they're in the core of this all, at the center of all the monetary developments right now. And once the institutions are fully running on the new rails, XRP is going to explode in value. We've got this boom here from documenting Ripple, CEO of Archex. Keep in mind that Archex just tokenized BlackRock's money market fund on Hedera HBAR. The CEO, Graham Wofford, predicted XRP's trading volume could potentially rise to $30 to $50 trillion. You will not want to miss this.
30 to 50 trillion, all on XRP, all trading on Archex.
Here we go.
Find my original projections, but the total market is 1.4 quadrillion, everything that's ever out there. And if you start looking across any of those asset classes, they're all starting to move on-chain already. And the ease with which we've seen people interested in money market funds, tokenized treasuries, and those types of instruments, the support for stablecoins, when you're talking about replacing cash, when I see DTCC, Euroclear, Clearstream, it only takes one of them to flip onto natively digital, and that's trillions of assets on its own that move. So, tens of trillions, I think we could see. And bearing in mind it's 1.4 quadrillion, this is still a tiny slice of a huge market. 30 to 50 trillion, all on XRP, all trading on Archex.
Here we go. $50 trillion. 2 years from now, Ripple, Twitter will replay the session.
This collapse is just the beginning of a domino effect of what is happening right now. This shift is now happening in the public eye. Everyone's going to be seeing this and they're going to be panicking. So we could see a massive acceleration. And XRP and Ripple, evidently, as I've showed you, are playing a massive factor in its destruction and also the reconstruction, alongside other projects like Hedera HBAR, who are now partnered with BlackRock, also with Stellar, as I showed you here from the World Economic Forum, but also with Stellar CEO Danielle Dixon, who states in this interview the importance, the impact stablecoins are going to have on everyday financial services, which is particularly important because, as you should know, Ripple and XRP recently just announced their own stablecoin. Bombshell announcement. Listen closely.
For those who aren't familiar, Stellar is a public blockchain that is decentralized. It's fast, it's scalable, it's sustainable. It was really built for payments and asset issuance, and it's built for financial products and services. It offers builders smart contract functionality and a protocol optimized for payments with a design that's intended to keep fees low and to provide transaction speeds that can scale with increased adoption. It was designed for fiat-backed assets like stablecoins, and it was something that we were doing way back in 2014 before that was even a word that existed. Because the network was built with the idea in mind to make money move like email, and tokenization of secure, stable assets have always been at the center of that design.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.